Hello guys, sorry it's been so long since my last update. Things have been kind of a little bit, hectic. Excuse the hoodies, it's freezing in my flat right now, and I figured that hoodies were probably better than a video full of me going, So, yeah. It's been a while since my last video. I wish this video had better content, honestly. This one's going to be a bit of a downer. Sorry about that, but life's like that, I guess. It throws us curveballs. So, last I left you, I just had my last update, my last thing with Nottingham GIC. And the one thing that I took away from that, obviously, was whether or not I'm going to have my bottom surgery. Still haven't made up my mind about that, mostly because it's kind of taken a back seat to everything else. Sounds kind of stupid, I know, when you consider this is my transition, but I've always held that my bottom surgery isn't as important as my top was. I'm not as dysphoric about what's below the belt as I am what's above it, and obviously that's sorted now, so everything else is kind of on a back burner. However, I made a throwaway comment about my libido, in that I was taking it every 6 weeks. Turns out I should have been taking it every 12. Still haven't tracked down who actually fucked that up, excuse my French, because I've moved doctors since then, and because of some weird bureaucratic crap, nobody can access my records from there, which is great when you move on to the second thing. They said that I needed a blood test to see what my bloods were doing, which you see right here. There you go, there's my blood test. I have blood, it's great. My blood test, as you can imagine, came back with me having sludge for blood, which was wonderful. However, I didn't find out until I had this blood test and sat down with my doctor that apparently my bloods have been like this since January last year. No doctor has thought to do anything about it, despite the fact that my levels on certain things have been high enough to cause some serious, well, it's on the system, and it's on the system in bright red ink with abnormal, chronically elevated, do something about this. And nobody's thought to actually do anything, because they figured, oh, I'm trans, it's just to do with that. If only it was that easy. Upshot is they decided that it wasn't worth mentioning to me, or to a haematologist, or to my GIC, or anything like that. So when my GIC got the results, they were basically, right, no testosterone for 12 weeks. Do another trough test, i.e. a blood test just before I have my shot. See what happens. If the levels have gone down, then we know it's to do with the testosterone, and we'll just go by the 12-week roll, which is what should have happened in the first place. The levels go up, then obviously something, or levels stay the same, or levels go up, then obviously something's wrong, and it's not to do with the test. Which is, you know, all well and good. The 12 weeks, I actually ended up waiting a little bit longer than 12 weeks because of Christmas and all the rest of it happens. I think I was in the range of about 13 weeks when I had my next blood test and shot. So I had my last blood test on the 8th. Now, we were hoping that my, because it's concentrated more on the red blood cell count. It's basically the red blood cell, hemoglobin, and the hematocrit. I'm not entirely sure what those things are in myself, so I can't really give you guys a good explanation for it. But basically, if they're above a certain level, there's other things in the blood test that need to be looked at, like the neutrophil count, which is a type of cell that the original stem cells that create red blood cells also create. It's a type of white blood cell, I guess is the right way of putting it. And you know, looking at those levels and that sort of thing, seeing if they're elevated. Good news is the neutrophil and all the rest of it aren't elevated above normal. They are high, but they're not above normal, which is good. It's a relief. The rest of it isn't, though, because I got my results back for my 8th one, and well, the hemoglobin went down by 2 points. It's still chronically elevated. Everything else is up. So it's not to do with the testosterone. I've been having odd symptoms over the last couple of years. They've been very slow building, and they've just been little odd things here and there that I haven't really thought much about. For instance, if I get overheated, I immediately have unbearable prickly itchiness, I guess is the right way of putting it. Not hives, because I don't have anything physical coming up with them, but it literally feels like I've got needles poking out, pushing through every single pore. It's painful and it is unbearable. Haven't really thought about it, went to a doctor about it, got pretty much told it's all in my head. Yay. I'm sure no other trans person has ever had to deal with that ever in their life before from their doctor. I'm a little bitter, can you tell me? But, and I've been having fatigue issues, which I thought was to do with my fibro. And I've been having pain issues, which I thought was to do with my fibro. Because fibromyalgia causes pain and fatigue, and I've been suffering from that for the last 5 years or so, I thought. Basically, the reason why I'm talking about this on what is essentially my trans blog is because this can complicate my transition, because it turns out that the reason why my bloods are like this, why my blood is basically sludge, is because of something known as polycythemia vera, or PV. I'm actually having to look at the screen for that bit because I can't remember how to pronounce it. Long story short, it's a blood cancer. Now that sounds very, very scary because blood cancers come under the leukemia umbrella. However, there are many different types of cancers. There's many different types of cancers as there are different types of cells in the body. This one is actually based in the bone marrow, and it's a cancer of the stem cells that go on to create white blood cells and red blood cells. In this instance, they create too many red blood cells. So my blood is basically sludge. Which isn't great because it can lead to blood clots, it can lead to heart attacks, it can lead to strokes, it can lead to deep vein thrombosis, and it's not a curable cancer, but it is a treatable one, and it is not likely to cause any lack of life expectancy. It's not going to kill me, basically. What's more likely to do the damage is the blood clots, and obviously the sooner I start treatment, the less likely it is I'm going to have those blood clots. I haven't been given an official diagnosis yet. I want to make that perfectly clear. This is not official yet. However, eliminating everything else, this is the likely outcome. The only reason why I haven't got my diagnosis yet is because my doctors are... I've already sworn once on this video, I'm not going to swear again. My doctors are slow. It's a nice way of putting it. The doctor that's in charge, that's requested the blood tests, doesn't think there's anything wrong. Doesn't think there's anything to worry about. I've already had one stroke event and many mini strokes, TIAs. I can't remember exactly what that acronym stands for, but they basically, it's where you have a tiny clot that then dissipates. And I was in hospital a couple of years ago with a suspected stroke. I went to an AE a few years before that with a suspected stroke, so I'm a little annoyed, to put it bluntly, and I'm not going to get that official diagnosis and therefore be able to start treatment until I can badger my doctors into getting me into a haematologist. As and when that happens is down to my doctors and how much I can annoy them, pretty much. I am known for being pretty damn annoying. That's how I got on the transgender pathway in the first place. This is... I'm not sure how to word it. I'm shocked, I guess is the right way of putting it. I did a lot of research when this first came up. It's kind of scared me, but I'm glad I did the research because it means that I've already done the acceptance. Honestly, there's not much else I can say in this update apart from that. As and when I know more information, obviously I'll let you guys know, but for now, that's, you know now what I know. I really hope I get to do a video where I say this is just... yeah, but for now that's kind of it. I really hope you guys had a better Christmas than I did. Till next time.